G'day, I'm Peter from Mechanics Mate. We're at SEMA 2018. Well, my background is in engineering. I've been in production and maintenance all my life. Me making products for customers, always want to have my own product. I've got my own drag car. This is all about productivity for the mechanic. It makes them money. What we're trying to do is make their life easier. We're also guaranteeing that the job's going to get done very quickly, so it helps the consumer as well. So if you've got a car, you take it to your mechanic. How many times you've been there where they've been late with delivery because they've had a bad day? We're trying to get rid of those bad days for them. The engine stand came about, a friend of mine, he showed me an engine stand. He bought one with a rotation, didn't like it. It was too many winds, all that type of thing, and I've looked at it, and the other problem is he had to mount the engine to the stand. What we did was I looked at it and I said, yeah, no, leave it with me, I'll come up with something far better and easier. We then chose an industrial rated gearbox because it's high precision with the bearings and everything else you've got in there. How can we get this agricultural fit where we can mount the engine to a plate and then mount that to the engine, to the stand? It's an open U, so it's a sandwich plate system. So basically what you do, you mount the plate to the engine, and once it's mounted to the engine, you can basically come in and drop it in position. We've got 2 bolts through the side of it, which go through the plate. So if all 4 bolts are in there, the thing will never drop down on your feet. And as you can see, we can turn it with a cordless drill, or we can supply an electric motor on there. So the electric motor, the advantage is it's nice and easy, simple to use, as it is with the drill, but you've got a cord attached to it. With this, you can take it anywhere, and we rate them quite heavily, and you can move them around with the load on there. As with anything, you've got to be careful. With our quick change hydraulic puller, it all came about because I used a traditional 3-jaw puller to remove a balancer, and so when it came time to do it a second time, I decided, well, I didn't like it, didn't want to spend money on something that I didn't like. So then it was a matter of coming up with a system of being able to change over different attachments very quickly and easily. So that's how we came up with our coupling idea. So now where we're at, we've relied on the industry telling us what it is that they need. We can take off the power steering pulleys, we can take off the sprockets off the crankshaft, we can do pitman arms, ball joints, wheel bearings, we can push out axles on front wheel drives and independent rear suspensions as well. Out of hub, we can do bushings as well. So pretty much you're taking the power of your press that you have in the corner to the vehicle. So we can go up to 100 tonne with this system. We're using an LS engine for our demos. One of the reasons is that's where we first started with my own engine. Feedback from the industry is that they're one of the hardest balances to pull off. It's a great way to start. They're available everywhere. There's lots of them. Everyone's swapping them in everything, so they're very popular. So this is the attachment we made specifically for the truck balancer here in the US, but it also suits the small and big block Chevy bolt pattern. It'll also work with the HI balancers. This is our coupling. That's how quickly and easy it is to attach to our cylinder. So now, we use quick connects on here as well, so it's quick and easy. Comes in, slots in the lugs, and there we go, she's off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put on our sprocket attachment for the LS. All right, so now what we do is we're going to take that crank sprocket off. These are pressed on. People have a lot of trouble with them. That's how easy it is. So now we're here, we're going to put it back on again. What we're doing in here, we're using a 12-tonne hollow cylinder. So it's got a hole through the middle of it. So what we can do is we can screw it into the crankshaft, and now we're going to pull against the crank to push on the sprocket. In order to do that, we've got to put on our installation sleeve. So it basically goes over the crank snout. So now what we can do is put it through there. This installation shaft that we supply all have a hex drive on the end of them, so we can put a bit driver on there or a ring spanner. Ratcheting ring is what I like to use. And now that's done. So now to put the balancer on, same thing. This doesn't have a key in it, so we don't have to worry about orientation, and we don't have to worry about squaring it up or anything. As soon as it takes up the slack, it'll drive this on square every time. All right, and here we go. Now that's done. We've got another adapter here. This suits the power steering pulleys. We've got a couple of different sizes to suit the ones that are out there. It clicks on just as easy, just like that. Slips over. There we go. Again, our install shaft to put it back on. Just screw that in. All right. So now we just zip up the nut, and that's done. At this show, we've probably done 200-300. Overall, since all the shows that I've been doing and everything else, we've done some swap meets as well. I've probably done 3,000 or 4,000. We cycle test our product and at shows, and basically people ask about warranty. and it's not an issue. I don't know if there's enough hours in a working week for them to do as much as what we have done over the short periods of time that we do in high intensity.